Good morning. It's the fifth Sunday of Lent and we read the Gospel of John. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. At dawn he appeared again in the temple courts where all the people gathered around him, and he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. Now, what do you say?" They were using this question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing him. But Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. At this, those who heard began to go away one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left, with the woman still standing there. Jesus straightened up and asked her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" "No one, sir," she said. "Then neither do I condemn you," Jesus declared. "Go now and live your life of sin." For a long time, Mary Magdalene was identified with the sinner of today's gospel, but this is a mistake. And the blame for that mistake was laid on none other than a pope. In an Easter homily in the 6th century, Pope Gregory the Great confused the repentant sinner with Mary of Bethany and with Mary Magdalene, from whom Jesus cast out 7 demons, as if they were all the same woman. It took the Church a long time to fix this confusion. In fact, it was not until 1969 when Paul VI removed from the liturgical calendar the appellative of penitent that was traditionally attributed to Mary Magdalene. Therefore, the woman found committing adultery in today's Gospel isn't Mary Magdalene. Jesus was presented with a false dilemma with this woman. It seemed that there were only 2 paths to take: mercy or justice. If he condemned her, where would be the mercy he was so full of? And incidentally, it would create problems for Jesus with the Roman authorities, who didn't allow the Jews to execute anyone. And if he forgave her, would he not be going against the law when he had said that he hadn't come to abolish it but to fulfill it? Apparently, there were only 2 ways to respond. Either you are stoned to death or you are not stoned. Either you are with God or you are with the sinner. 2 self-excluding possibilities. But no, Jesus comes out with a totally new perspective. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone. The Gospel says that Jesus sat down and began to write with his finger on the ground. What did he write? No one knows. I like to think of it this way. The Pharisees pointed their finger at the woman's sin. Jesus pointed his finger at the dust of the earth, of the ground. God created us from the earth, from dust. In fact, on Ash Wednesday, we heard, "Dust you are, and dust you will return." Theologically, dust refers to that part of the human being where we find ourselves limited, expired, and with the gift of free will, we can be weak and make decisions that denigrate us as human beings. We all experience the weight of our concupiscence. How easy we are to judge others when, in fact, we all limp on one leg or another. Whoever doesn't succumb to the temptations of sensuality succumbs to the temptations of the spirit, pride, vanity. He who doesn't do it today, perhaps he will do it tomorrow or did it yesterday. Jesus didn't enter at that moment into a theoretical discussion with the Pharisees because he wasn't concerned with winning an academic dispute over an interpretation of the law, but his goal was to save a soul, that of the woman thrown at his feet, and to reveal that salvation is only found in the love of God. What good does it do to me to win an argument if I lose a relationship? When everyone has left, Jesus tells the woman that he doesn't condemn her either and that she would go and sin no more. With this brilliant answer, Jesus not only saves the woman but also definitively settles the false dilemma. You are either on God's side or on the sinner's side. Obviously, Jesus is on God's side, but that is precisely why he is on the side of the sinners too. The truth cannot be denied, but the truth needs to reach the heart of the person not as a murderous stone, but as a loving possibility to rise up from one's mistakes. Jesus makes use here of the concept not only present in classical Greek rhetoric, but also in the Old Testament, the concept of parousia, which is the ability to speak the truth from love, to tell the truth to improve or help other people, not to condemn them. In conclusion, this gospel invites us not to judge, to seek to save the person, and to make them know the truth, but with love. And God bless you.